So I've got about a dozen boxes here that I've bought weeks, months, years apart in some cases, and I don't know what's in them. I genuinely do not remember what's in these boxes. I bought all of these things, I think spares or repair on eBay. I've bought them all myself, but it is a mystery unboxing. The only thing I think I know I've got is a GX4000 console. Everything else, I have absolutely no idea. So let's get unboxing these things. Ha! This looks like a VFD game of some description. Yes! Yes, it is. This is interesting. Trying to bring some more VFD games back to the channel. I've done a few. And for a while this was kind of the mainstay, and then I moved on to some more complicated projects. Well, there we are. It's an Epoch, a Zig Zag Monster. A few marks on this. Looks like it's been in contact with some cable that's damaged the case. But yeah, Zig Zag Monster. Maybe we'll put some batteries in that a bit later and see if it's working or not. So we have another package here, and I think this is one actually that I know what the contents is. Amstrad GX4000. I think this console got a little bit of traction in the UK and maybe in some countries in Europe, but essentially it came out about the same time as the Sega Genesis or the Mega Drive, which was a 16-bit console, and really it didn't do very well. Okay, well here is the next one. I know exactly what's in this, but I thought it would be interesting because it's from the sponsor of today's video, PCB Way, and I've been going on about PCB Way for a while, how they do sheet metal fabrication, 3D printing, injection molding, all that stuff. But of course they're famed for their printed circuit boards. I thought, well, it would be nice to know if you ordered a printed circuit board from PCB Way, just what you would get. So here I am. I've ordered some and this is what I got, and I thought I'd unbox them with you today. And here then are our printed circuit boards. They're neatly packed, I see, in a sealed bag with a desiccant in there to keep them dry. I'm not going to open them in this video because I think I'd like to keep these until I actually make the project. And that project is a multi-cart for the GX4000 console that we've just seen. I'm not nearly clever enough to have designed this printed circuit board myself, but it was already on the projects page of the PCB Way website, so all I had to do was select it and have them make the boards for me. And I picked a good time to do that because PCB Way are offering free upgrades and discounts until the new year. This feels fairly light. I'm thinking maybe it's an extra or another VFD game. VFD being vacuum fluorescent display. Well, I've never ever seen one of these, and I paid a ridiculous amount of money for it, to be honest, so I do want to be careful opening this up. It's a little bit yellowed, but I think we can forgive it for that, given its rarity. It's otherwise, oh, it's got quite a big scratch on the screen, which is disappointing as well. But Fights of the Titan, an Epoch VFD game. Does it have a battery door? No, it doesn't have a battery door either. Oh, I wonder if a Astro Wars battery door will fit that. This is an Astro Wars battery door that I printed at home. 3D printed at home. Yes. Oh, look at that. Brilliant. Okay, so I can print a new battery door for it, or I could order one from PCB Way, of course, as well. That's good. That's good. Shame it's missing the battery door, but never mind. It looks like it's another game. Oh, yes, it is. How about that? I genuinely don't remember buying this. Battery tab is a bit loose, but the battery terminals seem in nice condition. This is a kind of electromechanical game, really. It's probably got a couple of LEDs in there. Probably no electronics. Anyway, Stunt bike. Wow, what a surprise, yeah. This one's looking a bit tatty just from the size. I think perhaps it's another VFD. Packed in old carrier bags. Oh, they included some batteries. So whatever it is presumably battery powered. And this one is boxed. Yeah, it's a Space Invaders, or Space Invader game. Get a little extra help from the Halifax. That was a bank or building society, probably back then when this was made, here in the UK. Space Invader LSI game, so another VFD game, bit of a tatty box. Let's have a quick look inside here. Again, I don't ever remember seeing one of these. Well, it seems to be in nice condition. It's a Gakken game. Be rude not to, wouldn't it? I don't know if these batteries are any good. Oh, promising start. The flickering that you see is from the camera, but it's quite a lot of damage on this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to clean that off or not, but we'll see. Anyway, there you are. Gakken Space Invader. We'll keep those batteries. We can probably try some of the other games that happen to take C cells too. Another handheld. Oh, tennis. Coleco tennis. Not even a deluxe tennis. Pretty dirty and nasty. Very yellowed. Yeah, maybe not too exciting, that one. Maybe that was a drunken purchase. The power supply for something. Oh, Sinclair ZX Plus 2. Wow. Thanks, Dave. All right, Dave. Well, thank you very much as well. I did buy this, though. Wow, this is huge, isn't it? I don't even think I've got a Sinclair Plus 2 computer, but evidently, yeah, I've got a power supply for one, so there we are. Feels like this might be a power supply too. Let me just dive into this one. Oh no, I remember what this one is. It's a mouse. This was a novelty mouse by Nescafe, but it looks like maybe it's got a bit of a leak. These things, I wonder if they are coffee. What do you think? No, they are pieces of plastic. That's not coffee. I'll be wiping those up for months. Feels like there's something in this lump. Like it's not just packaging. Again, it's got the kind of dimensions of a game, doesn't it? Yeah, it's an Astro Wars. Very smoky smell to it. That's not pleasant. Yeah, that's not very nice. Joystick's nice and springy. Don't know whether it's going to work or not. Astro Wars. There are more VFD games in here. This one is an Invader 1000, but clearly it's seen better days. The joystick has gone, the fire button's gone. Yeah, just a parts machine, that one, I'm afraid. But, you know, sometimes these parts are useful, although even the plastics have gone on this, other than perhaps a battery door. It's a Gakken, looks like it's a Japanese import, rather than being the kind of Grandstand ones that we'd usually see in the UK. So there's some interest there, but yeah, this is totally beyond repair. And then the last one, obviously that was a bit of a job lot. This is a Entex Galaxian 2. This looks like a better prospect, although the colouring here suggests to me that there's been some battery leakage, and indeed there has. So I'm not going to try and put batteries in that right now. We'll get that opened up. But there it is. Yeah, Entex Galaxian 2. Kind of bulgy. I'm guessing, again, this is another VFD. Aha! Oh, look at this. It's a Bambino. Look at that. It's tiny little display here. And then all this kind of big, bright orange game. Bambino really did go for it when it came to their industrial design. Pretty solid construction, I have to say. But yeah, Bambino Basketball. Wow, what a monster. This is a very kind of formal looking box. I'm actually surprised at the size of some of these things. I wonder if this is another Bambino game. And indeed it is. In finest avocado. And another example of a tiny display with a massive game. This really is a whopper. This is Safari. Let's put the batteries in. Battery terminal's nice and clean. Is this one going to work? Yeah, I think that one works too. Oh well. Or maybe not. Well, it lights up, but it doesn't seem to do anything at all. It just kind of lights in the middle, so that one is defective. Yeah. Well, it says fragile, but it weighs an absolute ton. Another power supply for something I don't own, I wonder? Nicely packed. Oh, yes. It's very nicely packed. I've forgotten all about this. It is a Tivoli. I think they're called Tivoli Audio. A Tivoli CD player. I thought this would be kind of an interesting little project. I actually bought a Bang & Olufsen stereo, and I thought that this would go kind of neatly with that. But this apparently it's not reading discs, as I understand it. So if it doesn't work for me, maybe we'll send this off to Spare Time Repair. He can co-op with me on it or something. But that's a nice looking thing, actually. It's in nice condition. Well, I just forgot to start the camera there briefly, so I've already started this. But I got an idea what it was. I don't know very much about Commodore 64s. I've had a couple of newer ones, 64Cs, that I bought to repair on the channel, but they both worked. So there was nothing to repair. I just kind of cleaned them up, sold them on. This, as I say, the box looks old. Whether it's an old image and the machine is newer or not, I don't know. Let's have a look. I'm sure the people who know Commodores will know the answer to that. No, it's looking pretty standard. It's also looking extremely dirty. And there's no power supply. So quite discoloured, quite dirty. It's got some writing on it. Somebody's name, I'm guessing. S. Bernal. And yeah, Bernal. Looks like it's made in England. Serial number 269731, C64. There's no kind of other part number or anything like that on it. So I can't really identify it, but then again, I'm no expert in Commodore 64s. Anyway, if you do know, please leave a comment in the comments section as to whether or not this is just a standard C64, albeit an extremely dirty one. Oh, this one's heavy. It's always hard to know how to open something when somebody kind of makes their own box like this. You don't really know which is the top, which is the bottom, which is the side. Well, I suppose these are the sides, aren't they? But, you know, I could be mistaken. An Amstrad. Looks like, oh, actually maybe two Amstrads. Both look like they've been in the shed or something. A CPC 464 I had one of these back in the day. This one's in pretty poor condition. Keyboard's obviously gone. Some keys are missing. Spacebar's wobbly, but you know, it's a CPC 464. Nonetheless, maybe I can 3D print some parts or something and do a little bit of a resto, mild resto on that, get something that's usable, perhaps. And then an equally dilapidated 6128. Really dirty. And the worrying thing is, this looks like it's, you know, dirt from use. It's not just from it being in a shed or something like that. Big crack in the case there. Damage all down the back. Power supply cable gone. Yeah. Well, you know, actually, I have an idea in mind for a project for one of these two machines. So this one might not see the light of day as a CPC 6128 again, but I do have a few ideas about this. So yeah, it'll be good for the next project, or a project that we're going to do in the future.
But before I can take on future projects, I need to tidy up. And so until next time, I'd just like to thank you so much for watching Retro Tech Repair.